Yo, what's up guys? I don't really make videos anymore, but this is a new video to cover this new peace control map that me and Nexra have been working on. So let me just grab some guns. This map covers over around 10 courses of peace control, and we'll be adding more as we go. So this is just a lobby. Some weapons there for you guys to choose. So here we'll read over this. Each part of the map there's just certain notes which you can read over. Some are necessary, some aren't, so right there is just pretty much self-promo and things, so don't have to read that. But here it explains how the map works. So there's these courses which you shoot. Shooting the blue boxes will take you to the learning section, which will describe a certain peace control scenario, and then in that scenario you just learn where it is and practice it. And then once you know where it is and you want to actually practice and implement it, it will shoot the implement blue thing, and it will take you to where you can implement it and actually practice it there. And yeah, that's pretty much the same for each course. And let me go over down here. This is just some self promo. Support upgrade, use code nexra. This is just if you guys feel like the map is really good and you think it actually helps with peace control, you can also head over to Pro Guides. Down there they have a lot of courses similar, or they can help with lots of different like skill sets in the game, not just peace control. And they also have live coaches which can also help you. You guys can just DM me if you have any ideas or improvements for the map as well. Alright, so I'm just going to go through each of the 10 courses, starting from the right, the first one. So down here, this is a situation when an enemy's above you and you box him. You can pretty much read where it is. Each course will have a explanation here of where it is, but this is just a learning section. Each course will have its own learning section, which describes what the peace control scenario is. And then when you actually want to implement it, you can go back to implement. But if you want to go back to lobby and you accidentally shot this, or you just want to go back to lobby, you can shoot that. So on both sides, same thing. So right now, I know where it is already, because yeah, I created it. So I'm just going to go to implement. So here, we can implement it. So we'll just practice what we learned pretty much. And then you can practice it on both sides. And then here we can just reset builds. This only works for 10 times. If I notice a lot of people like this particular section, I can increase this to 100 as well, so I will probably do that in future. From here you could go back to learning, or you could go back to lobby, same as in the learning section. I'm just going to reset builds, and then now we have to go back. Now it's just reset the builds. Alright, I just want to explain this. I'm not going to carry on doing it. I'm just going to go back to lobby. I'm going to do the same thing for each scenario. So now this is use cones in peace control. This will describe where it is. So pretty much you have a right hand peak, you have a wall, and you can just place a cone with the correct peak, and you're going to practice doing this. Go to implement. Each wall is one hit, by the way. There's around 2 to 3 layers of this. So get the wall, edit it, and you don't want to expose your body when you peek to place a cone. A lot of people do that. You can just find the right angle like this and place it in the box. Put a shot on it. And there's pretty much like 3 layers of that, so let's go ahead. Yeah, just 3 layers of the same thing. And at the top there's also, you can go back to learning or you can go back to lobby. If you want to drop down real quick, you can just use this, it's pretty efficient. I'm going to go back to lobby. Next one, Mongraal Classic. You all probably know what the Mongraal Classic is. If you don't, it explains it here. I'm not going to go over what it says, by the way. If you guys want to use the map, you can read it yourselves. I'm going to go to implement. Practice just the Mongraal Classic. Each bot is on the right side, so you can just practice the Mongraal Classic, editing the stair to the left side. Obviously you can see that I need some practice on this as well, so but yeah, there's 3 layers of this as well, I believe. Let me see. This is a similar layout to the last course as well. Yeah, 3 layers of this, and you can just go back to lobby from the top or bottom, or you can jump down and go back to lobby. Alright, so Mongraal Classic. Alright, now we're going to go to coning and boxing the opponent. So right here it's going to demonstrate. So when your opponent's ramping beside you, you box them like that, and then you get an edit on them, or you could just do the cone edit. I'm going to go to implement to practice it. Alright, and there's 2 layers of this as well. If you guys enjoy this particular section, I could add some more layers as well if you guys want that. I'm just gonna go back to lobby, that explains that one. Alright, 5th one is predicting the enemy in box. This is pretty unique how we made this. I'm gonna explain. So here, it's kind of hard to actually implement it because usually you need to be box fighting someone to do it, but we did the best we could with what we had. So this explains it is when you're pickaxing someone in 1 by 1, and then you bait the breaking the wall, and then you just predict where they're gonna go, box it up, and you get just free shot on them. So we're gonna implement this. This can be buggy as well, just because of the game. I'm hoping Epik fixes it soon, but these bots kind of buggy. So you just bait the wall, then you just piece control whichever side they're coming out of. And there's multiple layers of this as well, so you can shoot go to floor 2. It's the same thing, and on floor 3 there's much more, so go to floor 3, and there's obviously like a lot more. Bait it, and then shoot. And yeah, you could do that a lot of times in practice. And then I'm just gonna go back to lobby, and from each layer you can go back to the layer beforehand. So here we can see. I'm gonna go back to lobby. Alright, so that was the 5th one. Alright, we're gonna start with the next 5 now. The last 5. So this is side step, piece control. Let me explain. So this is pretty much when an enemy sidestepped on your 1 by 1, wherever your box, right? And then you just box them up right. It's pretty simple. It's a common scenario, so it's good to practice it and become good at it. I'm gonna implement it. Here, we're just gonna keep, as we get the kill, you'll see, we'll just go down, and on each layer, you can go back to lobby. So whichever layer you don't feel comfortable and you just wanna go back to lobby, you can just shoot that. The wall's yours, but if you want, you can practice just taking the wall. Just to be realistic, and yeah, after you kill him each time, you'll just fall. And keep, just as a reminder, a lot of people, you might accidentally do this. As you con him, you'll place a con beneath you, then you'll box him whatever, you'll shoot him, and you'll think that you won't fall, but it's just a con blocking you, so make sure to edit that. I'm gonna go back to lobby, just wanted to explain that. Alright, the 6th one is double editing the placing walls. This you'll get a lot of practice here. So this is pretty much a scenario where it's pretty common as well. When enemies on the stair below you, you get the double edit above them, and then you want to double edit it. You got to remember, you never want to get in the box, otherwise it's going to be 50-50. So want to stay on top. You want to box him as much as you can, get a shot off, and then you can reset the edit, side stair, whatever. I'm going to go to implement. And then there's multiple on the 1 layer, but there's also 2 layers of this, so just going to run to the 2nd layer. And this is the 2nd layer. Yeah, and both layers you can go back to learning, or you can go back to lobby. Go back to learning, it's gonna explain to you where it is, and then I'm gonna go back to lobby. Alright, now we're gonna do double editing down and boxing the opponent. This is similar, but however this time they're not on a stair. You're also using a con. You can use a stair here to box him, but a lot of people use cons, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna go to implement. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just get the double edit on the opponent. You place a con, and then you box him as much as you can. Obviously, you can't full box him. If you full box him, you're gonna have to fall down right, which is gonna be pretty stupid. So you just want to try to get 2 walls, if possible, or 3 at best, right? And then we're gonna have 1 way to go out, so you can predict which way they're gonna go to get out. I'm just gonna go to implement. There's just multiple layers of this. There's around 3 layers, and there's around 4 lanes on each layer, I believe. Let me see. So this is the 2nd one, and there's also go back to learning or go back to lobby on each lane, end on each layer. So this is a 3rd lane, I believe. 4th lane. Then you go up. yeah, so there's 4 lanes and 3 layers. Just gonna go back to lobby. Also, I've been shooting to go back to lobby, but you can also pickaxe it or you can just run into it. So yeah. Next is boxing an opponent. This is similar to the one that we did before, the side stair one, but this is actually boxing them. So you can window edit, you can box them. You can do a peanut butter edit as well if you want. Box them. Or what you can do, if an enemy's on your wall, pickaxe on your wall, and they're like 3/4 away, you can just stare them, block them, and then you can just fully box them. And you can just do the Mongraal stare edit, and then get a free shot on them. Go to them. So it's pretty much the same thing. Obviously, once you kill the bot, it's a different bot this time because it's not on the stairs, it's an actual sentry. But once you shoot him, you're just gonna fall. Yeah, that goes around for like 20 to 30 times, so it's really good practice. I'm gonna go back to lobby, and on each layer there's another go back to lobby. Alright, so the last one is pre-edit piece control. This is interesting as a lot of people, like, you don't see a lot of people doing this, as it's kind of like weird to pre-edit because it can also like annoy you, right? Or it can get you killed a lot of times. Hopefully Epik adds a setting which you can disable pre-edits. But here you pretty much, yeah, so you pre-edit. I know it's easier to pre-edit on mouse and keyboard just because if you want to pre-edit on controller, say like you want to pre-edit your stair, you need to place your stair down if you have turbo build. Or if you want to go to pre-edit your cone, you need to place it first, then go to a different section so you can pre-edit it. Which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I'm going to go to implement and pre-edit. Alright, each wall here is 1 hit, it's like the Mongraal classic one, and there's also 2 layers here. There's not 3 layers this time, just 2 layers, but there's more boxes. Alright, so here, every wall's 1 hit. Also what you can do, you can pre-edit your stair as well. A lot of people won't do this obviously because now you're pre-editing 2 things. So once you, even if you do get the kill on the enemy, it's going to be hard to quickly, like if you get third party, it's going to be hard to reset everything. So it's better just to do the wall and then do a cone as well. And if you do this, you probably think you're like really exposed to the enemy, right? You don't go right and peek or anything, so the enemy's going to get a quick shot on you. But because like not many people do this, the enemy's like really never going to expect it. So if he's holding his wall and you do get the wall, it's gonna be pre-edited, and in his POV, he's probably still gonna be trying to hold the wall. Then he's gonna be like confused. He won't have enough time to react. There's gonna be a coin in the box. He's just gonna get confused. He'll probably try to edit out his box left or right, but you get a free shot on him. And you can just reset like this. And yeah, alright, I'm gonna go back to. So yeah, that's pretty much the map. If you guys have any ideas for any new courses that we can add, we're thinking of adding a free build course as well. Where you can just practice free building as well as practicing piece control. Then yeah, if you guys have any improvements or like if you find any problems in the map that you need us to fix, just you could DM me on Twitter at _nexra. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy the map and it helps you a lot. See ya.